Hello, my name is Tamara Isakova, and I am a clinical nephrologist in the Division of Nephrology and Hypertension at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. I am also a training program director and a co-director of institutional KL2 training program. In my leadership roles as a training program director and a KL2 program co-director, I have had the experience of using logic models both during the development of a grant application as well as during implementation of a funded project. So we, over this summer and fall, worked on a very large training grant application that incorporated 6 training programs across Chicago, and it was also a training program that was interdisciplinary and involved several stakeholders and 3 specialty programs. This application was quite large, as you can imagine, and required several pieces. Also, in the funding announcement, there was a big emphasis on elements in the program that are often not included in traditional training programs, but for which there is increasing recognition of their importance, such as networking and professional development. So we had to make sure that we incorporated several elements into the program, that we also incorporated input from stakeholders, and that we made this application exciting and innovative and responsive to the funding announcement. In the process of sort of digesting the funding announcement, it became clearly apparent that funders also were interested in milestones and some way to assess that the program is successful. Pretty early on in the program, I connected with evaluation experts at Northwestern, Denise Drain and Bennett Goldberg, and they both pointed me in the direction of logic models, and it seemed like a perfect solution to incorporate the many diverse elements in this application, including all the elements that all the different stakeholders wanted to include, as well as to be responsive to the funding announcement and to also figure out how to then assess and track the program. This project is not reviewed yet, but I'm very proud of the work that we have accomplished as a team, because the logic model actually helped pull the project together.
My name is Michael Markle, and I am the program director on the NIH T32 training program in MRI. And I'd like to share some of my thoughts and experiences with developing a logic model for our training program. While it was initially difficult to kind of conceive the logic model, while working with it, we realized that it really helped us to better understand and disentangle the sometimes complex interactions between different program elements that we have as part of our T32 training program. Specifically, it really helped us to better develop evaluation plans, questionnaires, and interactions with our students and trainees that are appointed to the training program to really streamline and improve the evaluation of our training program. The logic model in itself is a really nice and useful way to visualize the connections between the individual program elements, how they work together, and how they can optimally used or optimized rather, in order to enhance the training effect of the program and really understand how the individual program elements contribute to the overall training goals and objectives of the program. So in a nutshell, or in summary, we really found it very useful to go through this exercise. Our training program is relatively new. It's just been awarded recently, and we're in the 2nd year of our training program. And this was a really useful exercise to us to really revisit all the program elements that we had initially designed, and to make sure we can deploy them and evaluate them properly going forward. This will in particular be extremely helpful when we go ahead and plan for the submission of the renewal of our training program, and will certainly help us, number one, to understand how the program elements interact and how the evaluation can, number one, capture that, and how we can optimally take advantage of the different program elements to enhance student learning objectives. And number two, I'm sure will help the development of our renewal application, and will also provide better insights for the reviewers and the program officials and the NIH, how we actually implement the evaluation of our program and how it's really tied together and links to the different program elements and the overall objectives and goal of our training program.
When I first heard the term logic model, I felt intimidated by the concept because I had been directing my training program for 13 years, and I had never heard or come across this term even once. But when Denise explained to me what it was with examples, it dawned on me that it was something that might be very useful. Then, having constructed a model with Denise and Bennett's help for our training grant proposal, I wished I had known about it before, because as a program, we are expected to devise activities that add value to our trainees' training experience. What the logic model helped us do was to think about what specific skills and knowledge we wanted our trainees to acquire while undertaking these activities. It also made us evaluate how we could make these activities more impactful. For example, we have a class on biophysics methods, and in the past, we have required students to read papers and take turns presenting and critiquing the work. We realized that there was an opportunity for students to develop writing skills that we had not emphasized before. So moving forward, we'll be requiring our trainees to turn in short, structured write-ups that explore many facets of the assigned papers, just as we do when we are recruited to review the papers as peer reviewers. My hope is to continue using the logic model to ensure that our activities are having the intended impact on trainee development and identify opportunities to enhance the trainees' learning experience.
The second project that I will describe today is the project that is the KL2 program, and that is a funded project through the CTSA or NUCATS at Northwestern. And this program aims to support early stage investigators as they develop their independent careers and advance to scientific independence. This program is also cross-disciplinary, and I stepped into the role of this program when it, as I mentioned, is already funded, but given my experience with logic models in the prior project that I just described, I introduced colleagues to this concept of logic model and also competencies and how the logic model and the competencies can talk to each other. And that actually helped us to brainstorm and figure out what's missing, what needs to be implemented, and how we can innovate. And this process of using the logic model in a funded program that required some innovations was useful in that we were not just throwing things onto the wall to see what sticks, but it required us to stop and think about what is the vision of the program, what is the mission goals, and what strategies we will use to accomplish the vision. And in that conversation, the logic model once again was useful because it helped us stay on track, and it helped us figure out what elements fit into what area of focus. And also it helped us to make sure that we weren't duplicating things that already exist on campus. And finally, I'll just say that we also then talked to other leaders in NUCATS to inspire them to consider using the logic model, because it is helpful overall, I think, to think about the mission of a bigger program under which the KL2 falls in. And so I think there are multiple uses for this concept of a logic model, both during the design of the project, but also during implementation and most importantly, evaluation. As you can, I'm sure, guess, I am a big fan of the logic model, and I think they can only help to improve the design and implementation of any given project.